fucking killer, Huey, just like the rest of us. Now why don't you stop pissing around and tell everybody what this is really all about?
What? You guys? Is that from something?
Up on this hill, I'm counting all the killers. They sway as they swarm. A look of gluttons in their eyes. They mutter as the body loses warmth. They pick your bones like locks inside a tomb, and take great care to not take care.
Pause. Whoa. Okay, that was really cool. Okay, so it's really interesting. Like that first verse, he has a completely different tonality, and then it kind of goes like, and we're in the song. And what's really interesting is this line, and take great care to not take care of you. Here's an unexplainable one. And he's talking about all of this pain, all of this like death and loss. And in an interview, Corey talked about people not believing that he was depressed. This almost sounds like this intro to this first verse is like he's trying to tell someone, I'm unwell. I'm really depressed. And like, if I'm not depressed, then explain what's happening to me. Because here's an unexplainable one. I'm experiencing this and you're telling me I'm not and it's not real. I'm trying to be vulnerable and you're telling me that I'm wrong. Like, what is that? Why? Okay, so this is really interesting. If we take it from the perspective of Corey Taylor talked about how a piece of this song was like not being believed, that your reality was not accepted as reality, which makes sense when we think about the context of this photograph where the photographer said that, which the name of the song is based upon, where the photographer said that this wasn't actually in the background when he took the photo. And then it like looks like it appears this spaceman. If we take it from that perspective, this is actually really, really, really interesting because the beginning of the song, even from a tonality perspective, is so soft. It's like so vulnerable, authentic. And then the second that he feels this like lack of belief and his vulnerability is rejected, the tonality of the song like immediately switches. And it's like defensive. And it's like, I don't need you. I don't need you to understand me. It's just a completely different feeling. It's deflecting. It's blaming. It's like, your fault. I don't need you to understand me. I won't even show you the whole story. You don't even deserve to know the whole story then. Because this person rejected the initial vulnerability and didn't believe in the validity of the experience of being depressed. And I think that's really, really relatable for a lot of people who are depressed and who or experience any kind of mental illness, is trying to open up to someone else about it and being met with disbelief or a lack of understanding. And then you go into this like mode of like, fine then, I don't need you. It's like some chime in the back. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is so freaking good. This is something that so many people do, and it is such a toxic way of communicating. And like, let's just take it and look at what's happened so far. I'm basing a lot of this off of what Corey shared about the song, is like someone he shared with about his depression didn't believe that he was depressed. So let's take the intro as like him explaining this. I'm counting all the killers that are coming for me in my mind. They sway as they swarm. They mutter as the body loses warmth. Like I am feeling like I am in this place of complete destruction and despair. And I'm telling you this. And then it's like, and you're taking great care to not take care of me. You're taking great care to not acknowledge how I'm feeling. Here's an unexplainable one. And then as soon as that vulnerability is met with anything but care and understanding and support, it immediately goes into pulling back after that initial rejection of, I guess you got what you wanted then. Okay. So I'll settle for this pain because you're not going to understand it and you're not going to help me. So we go from this place of the heart of what we are trying to express to someone and receive support for. And then when we don't get the response that we want, it's a very human thing to deflect, to reject them, to blame them, to be defensive about our experience. And then we never circle back to the actual pain that started the conversation in the first place. And that pain is never actually properly addressed. I just think that's such a human experience when we try to be vulnerable with someone and for whatever reason they're unable to meet that vulnerability, then we immediately flip a switch, just like the song did at the beginning. And it's like, oh my gosh, you're the worst. You don't understand. Screw this. I don't need you. I don't need to try to explain it to you. I don't need you to understand. When really the initial vulnerability was like, I do. I'm like, I want you to see this pain. Like what have you done? Like you've made this worse. You've made this hurt even worse. Oh, that's so good. Wow, it does circle back. It circles back to the pain. You want a real smile. I haven't smiled in years. That is so vulnerable. And so often when we get caught in the cycle of sharing and not receiving what we need, we never circle back to the vulnerability that we actually needed support for. And sometimes that's a good decision, right? To not actually share with that person who can't meet us. But sometimes it ends up meaning that our own pain not only gets rejected by that person and they don't circle back to it with us, but we don't circle back to it on ourselves. We get so caught up in the conflict, in the like, you didn't support me, you weren't there for me, that this pain continues to go unacknowledged. And so although this is like a picture of an unhealthy way to exist in relationship between someone, of like, this person is sharing their heart and they're not being believed, and so then they're reacting in a way of defensiveness and deflecting and blaming. Although that part is unhealthy, the healthy part of this is to always circle back to that place of vulnerability. And that is a call for all of us to remember when we listen to this song. It shows us what naturally often happens to human beings who sometimes can't understand each other and can't be there for each other, and how it causes the actual pain to get put on the back burner. And it's a call to acknowledge that, but then find within ourselves what the heart of the matter is. And whether that means acknowledging that pain for ourselves by ourselves and just like giving that love that we need to ourselves and acknowledging like, yeah, my depression is real. My anxiety is real. Just because this person couldn't understand it does not mean that my feelings are not real, that this experience is not happening to me. And sometimes it maybe means, trying to go back to that person if they are a safe person normally and sharing it with them. Maybe it means going to someone else and sharing the heart of the matter. But this song is a call to not let the pain get lost in the deflection and blame and the conflict of it all. Wow. I love Slipknot, you guys. Like, I'm always amazed by the way that Corey Taylor in particular took his pain and like put it into these lyrics and made something that can make people feel so understood. So if you can relate to this in any way, if you feel like you've shared something about your life and you haven't been believed, and then your own feelings have gotten lost, share in the comments and tag out Heart Sport. That's what we're here for. That's why we do this. That's why we do it. Okay, so share in the comments by tagging out Heart Support, and we will support and encourage you. And if you like listening to Slipknot in particular to shift your mindset, hit subscribe. We're working our way through the entire Slipknot discography, and we use lots of different metal music to shift your mindset. We just did Left Behind by Slipknot, and it was actually featured in Loudwire, so you're going to want to check it out. It's a great one. We also just did Vermilion Part 1 and 2. You're going to want to start with Part 1. I think that Vermilion 1 and 2 are some of Slipknot's best work, so check it out.